hide is ready. Nice outfit.
Hi. Oh, thank you.
But we're living in the year 2025.
But I'm old-fashioned.
Take it off or I'll kill you.
You can't kill me. You can't kill me. But you can't kill me. You can't kill the idea. Thousands of people are old-fashioned like me. Look.
Yeah? I've seen enough.
I suggest to make this structure first because it makes the fleshing stage much easier and faster. It's basically a tripod with a long enough pole which has a nice surface and good diameter to lay the hide on it. Sometimes fleshing can take a lot of time and it must be done carefully to not punch the hide. So again, I recommend to make this tripod and do a favor to yourself. For hygiene reasons, I strongly recommend using gloves and an apron. You will thank yourself later. This hide doesn't get salted before, instead stored in the freezer. You can do a pre-wash before starting the fleshing stage. Washing makes your hide much cleaner and makes the fleshing much easier. Since it's winter and weather is so cold, I skip the pre-wash because I don't want to get wet by the hide wools. As an experience of mine, I should say if you are not comfy with the hide smell or this is your first time doing hide tanning, do it in a windy day. The wind can disappear all the smells. Fleshing refers to removing all the meat and fat from the hide. I prefer to use a dull knife because I don't want to punch the hide accidentally, and it's not necessary to use a sharp knife because we are not gonna cut the meat and fat. We just need to detach them and push them down. Honestly, this hide is dirtiest hide I've ever worked with. There is a lot of fat and meat remaining on it. It looks like a 5 years old butchered it. However, the fleshing stage took me less than 2 hours. I am not very obsessed to remove the membrane, but if you remove it, you can have a brighter and a smoother hide at the end. It's worth the effort. Just be careful to not get angry and punch the hide, because removing the membrane without special tools is not a very easy job. As you see, I'm cutting some parts of the hide because they are already punched when butchering. However, I'm trying to keep the original shape of the hide, but you can shape it as you like. Make sure there is no meat and fat left on the hide, because they can stop the alum solution to get into the hide. Treat fat and meat like the enemy. At this point, I'm done with the fleshing stage and I want to wash the hide since I didn't do the pre-wash step. I need to wash off this large amount of blood and clean up debris like leaves or plants that might be on the fur. I prefer to use moderately warm water. You can use cold water as well, but we all know that warm water has more dissolving and cleaning power. I use general washing powder. I prefer to wash the hide in several rounds, allowing it to soak in the cleaning solution for half an hour each time. However, this hide is very dirty and needs thorough cleaning. You can leave the skin in the solution for as long as you feel necessary, even overnight. But if it stays too long, since the solution is alkaline, it may lead to wool shedding. Finally, I wash the hide several times with plain water to ensure all the remaining washing powder is washed off. Now it is time to prepare the tanning solution. For this purpose, I use 600 grams of alum powder, 6 kilograms of iodine-free salt, and 24 liters of water. The ratio of the mixture is 100 grams of alum and 1 kilograms of salt for every 4 liters of water. Prepare the alum solution according to the size of the hide and make sure the volume of the solution is enough to fully submerge the hide, ensuring it is completely immersed. For the hide I have, 24 liters of water is enough. Be sure to use a container or barrel that has enough capacity to hold the water and the hide together, just like the container I use. After placing the skin in the solution, it is good to stir it at least twice a day with a long stick. You can do this with your hands as well, but alum is a skin irritant and can cause your hands to dry out. In fact, we use alum to dry out all the fat in the skin, so I prefer to use a long stick to stir it. I allow the skin to stay in the solution for 7 to 10 days. 10 days have passed. Dispose of the tanning solution in a drain or a place without trees or plants, as it can cause them to die. Now all that's left is to rinse the hide with plain water to wash off any remnants of the solution. The outdoor faucet is frozen, so I have to bring water from inside the house. After rinsing with plain water, as you can see, I am trying to use aluminium wires, which are very inexpensive, to remove some more of the membrane. These wires are a simple and effective tool for this task. However, as I mentioned before, I'm not overly concerned about the membrane because I will be using this hide for my bushcraft trips and won't be selling it to anyone. Finally, I rinse it again with plain water to wash off the removed membrane pieces. Then I place the hide on a barrel for about an hour to dry slightly, preparing it for the next step. Of course, you can place the hide on a chair, a tree, or anything else suitable. After about an hour of drying, I start brushing the wool on the hide. I use a very inexpensive plastic brush for this, but you can use dog grooming brushes or any other suitable brush. This step has a significant impact on the final appearance of the hide. Take your time and brush all the wool thoroughly. Otherwise, when the hide dries completely, the wool will tangle and won't look as nice. Brushing also helps remove dead wool, preventing it from sticking to your clothes in the future. Additionally, it helps remove leftover debris, such as plants and grass, from the wool. I must say, this is the most enjoyable and relaxing part of the process. In the next step after brushing, I use a mixture of 4 egg yolks and half a liter of water to oil and somewhat waterproof the hide. It's important that the hide is still slightly damp at this stage and not completely dry. I make sure to cover every inch of the hide with this mixture. This is the final step of the process before stretching the hide on nails. For the last stage of the process, I prefer to use a square wooden frame for the final drying of the hide, attaching various points of the hide to the frame with a string. This way, I can create maximum tension and prevent the hide from wrinkling accidentally, as the hide tends to shrink during the drying process. However, you don't necessarily need to build such a frame. You can place the hide on any surface you like, but make sure there is airflow across all parts of the hide. Additionally, regularly stretch the hide with your hands on different days to break the fibers and stretch the hide. If you do this consistently and don't let the hide wrinkle, the final result will be excellent. I hope this video has provided you with comprehensive and sufficient information. I'm fairly certain that this method can be used for any type of hide, but if you have had a different experience, please share it in the comments. Also, if you have any question about this process, feel free to ask. If I have the knowledge to answer, I will definitely respond. Best of luck!